Hello and welcome to the Seraphine channel. Today I want to talk about the new Earth and the timeline of the new Earth dividing. And we're going to talk about it in a couple different ways. We're going to talk about the new Earth division and why it's happening, how it's happening, and when it's happening. Those are the three factors. So who am I? I'm Sarah, and I am a channel. I am an intuitive healer, and I've been working with a Pleiadian. Her name is Earth Star, and she is part of the Galactic Federation. And on the I want to say council, but that's not really it. One of the representatives for the planet Earth, because humans have not evolved to the point where we can represent ourselves. And so I work closely with her in lots of different ways, but this is where this information is coming from. And really, this information has been coming in specifically about the divide of the new Earth for probably the last 5 years, probably, 2020, 2019. And then also some of the other context has come when I was channeling my book, Enlightened Beings, The Awakening. And that one is also channeled by my spirit guides, not my Pleiadian friend, but other spirit guides. And we talk a lot about the division of the new Earth. So some of this context will come from that as well. And that has been over the last 10 years that I've been channeling. So let's talk about the new Earth, what's happening here. If it's something that is new to you, might be a little confusing as I get into this. I'm just going to do a quick recap here. So the new Earth. So part of the evolution of our planet, so Gaia, Mother Earth, the soul that resides within our planet, she is desiring to become an enlightened being. That was always part of her journey. And her enlightenment is tied to the human race. And so the human collective consciousness and what is happening within that collectively with every soul that is here on the planet within Earth form, this human collective consciousness and our Earth are linked. And so, as she is desiring to become an enlightened being, some of the collective, the human collective, are wanting to evolve to become enlightened. However, there are many people here that are choosing not to and living in denser frequencies. So we're talking about frequency and energy in this, and that's what this all kind of comes back to. So as excuse me, the new Earth, as the Earth is wanting to become evolved and into an enlightened state, and since she's tied to the human collective consciousness, part of one of the primary tenets of this planet is free will. So she cannot evolve by herself without humans. And so to fulfill one of that primary tenet of free will, we need to create two, the old Earth and the new Earth, so that the divide, people always have free will and can choose. So if they choose not to become enlightened, they have a place to live. So that's kind of on this really primary level what's happening. It's the division of the human collective consciousness on a vibrational scale. And vibrationally, humans have been asking for these higher and lower frequencies to come in. And so we've really pushed the scale farther and farther apart, which is making it harder for the old Earth and the new Earth frequencies, because the division hasn't happened yet, these frequencies that represent this to live within the same space, to same reality and dimension. And that's what's going to happen. The divide of the new Earth isn't about breaking the Earth apart. It's about understanding timelines, dimensions, and realities, because it's just dividing into a new reality. We bounce between timelines and dimensions often. So we are just moving timelines farther away, and it's making it really hard for these to be in the same dimensional plane. Okay, so that's kind of what's happening. We talked about timelines, Earth becoming, I have some notes here, I'm just making sure, splitting of timelines. Okay, so that's the why. Let's go into the how. And I made a visual here to help this. Let me get you that real quick. Okay, this is a super simple picture that I made for you to see. Okay, so you can see here there is the new Earth, we're talking, this is also, we're talking about 5D, this is about vibrational quality. And then at the bottom, we have 3D. So what we are talking about is vibration that a person emits. So vibrational quality is the about personal frequency. So the energy that you are emitting to the world. So every person has a choice in what they are emitting to the world. And that comes down to thoughts, beliefs, and emotions. So your thoughts are a reflection of your subconscious belief system, and that is projecting and creating your reality. So when you understand that your belief system, your thoughts, all are tied to vibration, and you can change your vibration by understanding and changing your thoughts. Okay, so most people are within the gray space between the new earth and the old earth, the vibrational quality of what they are currently, these extremes. So most people are within the gray space, and this is a place of choice and choosing. So there are protections for people who are in the gray space before they have decided if they want to raise their vibration or lower their vibration. And it's all about understanding vibrational quality. Okay, so originally we're just going to call them the dark shirts and the light shirts, and that is representing all entities, souls, consciousness that is of a high frequency and a low frequency, just combining it all together. And this isn't just about Earth, it's a greater picture. So a treaty was signed between the light shirts and the dark shirts that the gray space would take 150 years to divide. And that was the information that I received when I was channeling my book. However, more recently, the dark shirts took the light shirts to a tribunal. So they brought them to trial, saying that they broke some of the rules of the gray space. The tribunal found that the white shirts were not breaking the rules. However, they understood why they felt this was happening. And so what they did is they said, okay, to please everybody, we are going to change it from 150 years to 75 years. So now we have 75 years as humans to decide if we choose to become a high vibration or a low vibration being. So you have 75 years. So rules that I'm talking about here. So the rules are about protecting the people within the gray space so that they have free will to choose if they decide to become higher frequency or lower frequency. That means that they cannot be consumed by darkness or light to influence their choice. They can be influenced, but it cannot be consumed. So it's all about making sure free will is honored, these rules. So the light and dark shirts both had to decide on these rules. I have the rules. If that is something that you guys want to know about, I can go through them. But there are rules in place to ensure free will and that the people of the gray space are not consumed and not given that free will to choose and find it within themselves to find out whatever they're called for. Okay. So we moved to 75 years, the rules. It's the rights of people, the gray space. It's really a space of decision. And the rules lay out how the light and the dark can influence the people of the gray space. Okay, all about vibrational quality, all about personal vibration, because the personal vibration is what is going to lower or raise within the vibrational plane. And really, that's where like my work comes in to teach people how to find the answers within, because you can never influence or save someone else. They have to do it themselves. Like there's no one way to find their path to enlightenment. Everyone is so individual that they have to learn how to listen to themselves and learn from within. This isn't about finding a guru and following them. You can learn principles, but at the end of the day, it is about finding the answers from within. And that's the important part that is so different about this expanse of the human collective consciousness. It's coming back to understanding our souls and understanding who your soul is and the purpose of your soul here on earth, which is like so hard to break through in the current teachings of this plan. Okay. So that is what is happening within the gray space. So now let's talk a little bit more about when these divides are happening. So we made a treaty, and it comes into play 2020. So we have 75 years from 2020, which makes it 2095. So 2095, we're going to be kind of at the end of the choosing, and I'll talk a little bit about that. Here's another slide. Okay, so here's the 75 years, and we have what's going to happen is every 10 years, segments of the gray space are going to be consumed by the light and dark, making it smaller. So what happens when it gets consumed? There's less choice. There's less protections for those people within that space to be able to choose where they want to go. They're going to be kind of consumed by that thought process. Not that they weren't already, on those extremes, but it gets smaller and smaller. So it's just less protection so they can decide. And it's possible that they can change. If somebody is consumed by the old earth, that dark frequency, can they rise? Of course they can. But it's so much harder because of the protections are not in place to ensure autonomy in it. Okay, so this is what's happening. And I want to point out here at the end, you can see that there is still a gray space in 2095. That is because there will always be a portal, a gray space of indecision between the old earth and the new earth. They are linked. It is part of what was decided in this evolution of the old earth and the new earth. So what that means is that the people who live on the old earth will always have hope, and they can always rise and move into the new earth. So that's part of why that portal is there, that gray space that they can move into. And what it means for the people of the new earth. The people of the new earth will always have choice in how they experience their life. So that is why that gray space will always be available. It's really just a portal between the two realities, two timelines. Okay, so we're entering this time of chaos, and there are multiple reasons for that. Here in 2020, there's been a lot of chaos already, and we're not even to 2025. Okay, but we're gonna probably see more chaos, and there's a reason behind this. So how does chaos help the dark shirts? It helps the dark shirts with creating distraction, fear, and hopelessness. And the more that people move into that frequency, the more they lower their vibration and move into the vibrational quality of the older. How does it help the light shirts? The light shirts, it helps them by pushing people out of their comfort zone and making them realize they need to do something different. They need to change. They need to choose differently. Because if people stay the same and it becomes stagnant, they will never choose that next step of enlightenment. They have to get into that uncomfortable to be willing to step into change. So that's how this chaos is helping both the light shirts and the dark shirts. And so we're going to see more of it as we move farther into the divide. But at the end of the day, people always have choice. They always have hope. And it's never about the world that is happening outside of them. Learn about vibrational quality. Learn about your soul that is within you and the purpose that you came here for. If you want to know more about any of this, let me know. Let me know in the comments. Reach out to me. And yeah, I hope this answered some questions. I'm not sure why my guides have asked me to put this into the collective at the moment, but it is here for you now. Okay, thanks.